Worry about that one. I got my assistant. How many people are in there? Yeah, I'll just wait till we get 5.
7.
I got my assistant with me today, so if anybody has any questions, he's reading them today. So as you can see, you can actually read the fucking blackboard today. It's not backwards. So today, I'm going to tell people exactly how I coach people and how I start them in this snake diet lifestyle. So the first point we're going to hit today is how to start the snake diet. So my voice is kind of hoarse because I've been talking for like 5 hours straight, nonstop today. So don't mind if I got to stop and take a water break. But so how I do it is I put people through a 48-hour fast right off the bat. That's to break any food addictions or sugar addictions. Okay, so what happens is when you're fasting 48 hours, you got to get some sort of electrolyte. So what I do is usually I get people their last meal, they want to eat a high-fat meal. Because what happens when you eat carbohydrates, your liver will hold about 100 grams of carbs. And what happens, so say tonight, I'm going to eat tonight, and if I ate a shit pile of carbs, my liver will fill up with carbs, and then come tomorrow night, right about the time that liver glycogen is getting depleted, it takes about 24 hours, I'm hungry, okay? So that's the whole problem with trying to eat carbohydrates in the first fucking place. So when I start people off, we try to get them to eat a high-fat diet as their last meal, high-fat meal. It'll be like veggies, minimal protein, because protein's way fucking overrated, especially if you're fat. You need very little fucking protein. You won't lose any muscle. The cool part is because when you eat one meal a day, or one meal every 2 days, or one meal every 3 days, your body is not catabolic. Catabolic means breaks down muscle, okay? So if you try to cut calories eating 6 meals a day, by definition, that's a catabolic fucking diet. Now you can eat 6 meals a day and eat a massive like caloric surplus or maintenance and not lose muscle. But as soon as you start fucking cutting, this is shown in the bikini fitness industry all the time when they go on their fucking cookie cutter diet and they're cutting calories at a massive deficit and they fucking lose all their fucking strength and muscle. With the way I show people to eat, you can get away with like basically no calories, like no fucking calories. So I'll get into that next part. But how to start the snake diet? So 48-hour fast. So tonight, if you're gonna start this, like this is step by fucking step how to do this. Also, just to pause for a sec, anybody that's watching this, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my Snake Diet Facebook page, invite all your friends to like my Snake Diet Facebook page because I want to disrupt the whole fucking system. Because this is easy. It's cheap. It's free help. All the shit out there's bullshit. Jenny Craig, fucking Dr. Bernstein, taking injections. Like, yeah, that's good for you. Everything out there is just a fucking bullshit diet to rationalize your little fucking food addiction. Okay, I beat food addictions with this. So, hit all my social media. Follow me on Instagram, Snake Diet, Snake_diet_wizard. So you get through the first, if I was going to start this tonight, I'd have you eat a high-fat meal, lots of veggies. Tomorrow you would have withdrawals. Definitely, sometimes it's way worse. If I got people that are coffee addicts, it's a fucking huge issue. Sugar and coffee addicts are the fucking worst. I've had girls puke. You know, I've had them get crazy headaches. I've had people faint. So this is no fucking joke. This addiction phase is no joke. It's just like having a crack addiction, somebody locking you in a padded room to try to beat it cold turkey. So you would eat tonight. Tomorrow, I recommend, there's lots of mineral waters out there that are good, but I drink Evian, like, it's in a plastic bottle, whoop-de fucking do, it ain't gonna kill ya. But it does pull really good alkalinity. And for a little tidbit about water, if you want to know the truth about water, don't worry about the fucking pH. Everyone's like, oh, it has a high pH, that must mean it's good. Doesn't mean it's alkaline if the fucking pH is high. It means the pH is high. It means it's alkaline if you actually check the alkalinity, which means how many ions there is in the fucking water. That's how, and this pulls like 240 parts per million. And I think the pH is like still like, any good water is gonna have a decently high pH anyway, like over 7. So this is the water. Now, depending, the first 48 hours you don't do fuck all. Okay, you don't want to do anything because your body is fucked up. Your hormones are fucked up from systematically fucking up your body for the last God knows how many years. Relax. Enjoy the fast. Because people get fucked up if they go try to exercise. Especially, so I ate tonight. Tomorrow's the fucking hard day. And then the next morning, so you're right around 36 hours, you'll feel good. Usually you'll feel really good unless you're a massive coffee addict. I've had issues with that. And then we just had one cup of coffee and they felt amazing. But before that, their head's pounding like there's a hammer hitting them in the fucking head. But, so when you do that morning, you'll feel good. I get people to pick up keto sticks because that morning you basically made that shift, that metabolism shift. And you take a piss test in the morning, a urine test. And that measures your ketones. Ketones are a direct side effect of your body fat finally starting to break down. So your liver glycogen will empty and you'll force your body into ketosis. This is forced ketosis. This is not a ketogenic fucking diet. Even though I do use ketogenic nutrition because it is the best for weight loss, but it doesn't have to be as anal as a 6 meal a day or multiple meal a day ketogenic routine, because like those routines, you can't even eat certain vegetables because there's too much glucose or sugar or whatever. But when you're forcing when you're forcing ketosis through fasting, you can get away with eating a lot more carbs and you'll be in ketosis. So that's what will happen on that second morning. You'll feel good, you'll be pissing ketones, and then you'll go to that next night. That's a 48 hours, that's your 48 hour stint. There's a question?
So what does fasting do to your metabolism?
So, good point. So what happened, let me tell my story here. So before I started losing all this weight, I was 100, let's make it easy, I was 190. I was 190 pounds, and I don't like to talk about calories too much because you got to eat, if you're going to count calories, you got to be consistent on the food. If you're eating like a high carb diet and then all of a sudden you're still counting calories in a high fat routine, you can't, they're not the same. Because one way you're going to shit out more calories than the other. People never take that into account. You always want to watch your shit more than what's going in your mouth. If you're shitting like once every day, you're not at enough of a caloric deficit to actually lose weight. But that's a bit off topic. So I was 190 pounds. I was eating about 2,800 calories, a ketogenic routine, when I started eating one meal a day. Then what happened? My body made that shift because my leptin feedback loop and these other hormones started working properly. So then what happened? I wasn't as hungry in the morning. This is when I was still eating in the morning, which at nighttime's optimal, but I was eating in the morning at this point when I started doing this a long time ago. And so I knocked my calories down to 1,900. So just paint that picture. So 2,800, and I started eating one meal a day. I was losing weight, and then I'm like, geez, I just don't need as much food. Guess why? Because my body recognized I had body fat, and it started eating the body fat. So the calories were being made up by the fat. So even if my body needed 2,800, if I put 1,900 in my body, due to the fact that the fasting always takes the fat, the extra 900 calories would have came straight off body fat. So then I went like this for about 20 days. I was eating 1,900 calories. It was a nice satiating meal. Then guess what? I got down to about 171 pounds. Let's for easy math, 170. So 190 to 170. And then one morning, I woke up early because I was fucking starving to death. Because guess why? My leptin levels were lower because I was low on body fat. And when you're low on body fat, it's natural. All of a sudden, the hormones are getting cranked up. The adrenaline and the cortisol told me to eat. So that day, instead of eating my regular 1,900 calories, guess what? I ate like 2,500. And then this went on. And then I ate like 3,000. 3,000. I started at 2,800 calories. Now I'm eating 3,000. And I'm still not gaining weight. I lost 20 pounds and I'm eating more than I fucking started with. And it actually ended up plateauing at about 3,200 or 3,000 a day. So what's that tell you? My metabolism actually got fucking faster. I lost 20 pounds and I actually had to eat more food and I still wasn't gaining weight. I held 170. And now I'm about 164, 165 pounds and I'm eating every 48 hours, but I eat about 5,000 to 6,000 calories high fat. So that's the answer to the question. It will not slow your metabolism. The only time your metabolism will fucking get fucked up is now if I tried to fast harder now, because like I'm getting lean, okay, like there's not much there. If I fast harder now, if I just tried to like go 3 days, I actually lose sleep. Just like when I initially had to crank up the calories, I lost sleep that night. That's what made me eat more. Your body will tell you when to eat if your body's not fucked up. Okay? If you're fat and you feel hungry, it's because your body's fucked up. If you're lean and you start feeling hungry and you're following a fasting focused lifestyle, then that's real hunger. That's not bullshit fucking artificial hunger. Okay, that's the whole thing. That's not bullshit hunger. Your metabolism, what fucks your metabolism is when you, like now if I just didn't eat and my leptin will get so low because your body fat produces leptin, so low body fat equals low leptin, which equals your brain sees that you have low leptin, and then your brain will slow your metabolism down as a safety mechanism because it thinks that you're not going to get food forever. And it'll also make you feel hungry as well, combined with other hormones like ghrelin. Now, what the other way, so that's one way the metabolism will obviously slow down. That's true starvation. That's like me not fucking eating and just starving to death. The other way it'll slow down is if you are eating at a massive caloric deficit, but multiple meals a day. The reason that will fuck your metabolism is because of this. Every time you eat a meal, you spike your insulin. When your insulin is spiked, you basically shut off your fat burning enzymes. So what happens, if you eat at a caloric deficit, like a massive caloric deficit, let's say like something like low. If I have lots of people I coach eating under 500 calories every night, and they don't lose any strength. Why? Because their insulin is low all fucking day. So it makes them just burn body fat. But guess what? If you eat the same 500 calories broken up into even 2 meals a day, doesn't have to be 6 times a day, 2 meals a day with no fasting time, like 12 hours fasting time max, what happens is you basically create a situation where you never ever get your insulin low enough to break that threshold to burn body fat. And guess what? When your body can't break down body fat for energy, what the fuck do you think it breaks down? Fucking muscle. That's why, by definition, cutting, this is why Jenny Craig, fucking Weight Watchers, blah, 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 every fucking diet out there, basically, because nothing promotes long-term, like extended fasting except me. Every fucking diet out there, you lose muscle. And that's why you don't see people that strength coach do fucking Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers. Like, honestly, the funny part is if I had somebody that's on Weight Watchers right now with their little plus, like their little point system, they would get 20 times the results if they took all the food they're eating in one day, rammed it in a 4-hour eating window, fasted the whole rest of the day just drinking water and lemon juice and some salt, and they get 20 times the results without losing the muscle mass. Okay, so that's that. Now, how many calories should I be eating? This one's good, because I always see, especially everybody's like, how many calories does my body need? How many fucking calories does my body need? If you're fat, you don't need any. If you're fat, you could literally run at a fucking 100% caloric deficit for days on end. I just let people eat something just for peace of mind. I went 8 days and trained with no food at a surplus of body fat, mind you, so I could still get away with training. But I've also done another fast that was 7 days long, no food, where I was way leaner, and I didn't train during that fast because I knew that I was lean enough that fasting for 7 days and doing any exercise would hit my cortisol, keep my cortisol up, and I would break down muscle. So that's a good little trick. If you're fairly lean and you want to lose fucking body fat, don't go fucking climbing on the stair climber for fucking 10 hours a week. And that's exactly what like mainstream bikini coaches have their clients doing. What you do, you're already fairly lean. You just train hard up till a week, and if you want to cut, just fast. Just sit there and fast. And your body will take the fat and it won't take the fucking muscle. It's that simple. This is why people like this concept is so easy. And the coolest part is you can eat a crazy caloric deficit and not have an issue. Like I have some of the girls I coach, they're eating like 300, maybe 350 grams of veggies in the night, which is a good amount of veggies. They're eating maybe 50, maybe 75 grams of fatty foods. So that'd be like your nuts, your oils, blah, 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 butter. and maybe like 100 grams of protein, or not protein, sorry, 100 grams of meat, maybe like 150 grams of meat, which would equate to about 25 grams, maybe 35, 40 grams of protein. Everyone overkills that shit. So me per day, I'm eating like maybe 90 grams of protein via meat if I'm eating every day. Right now I'm eating every 2 days because my body naturally, I really like to eat these big ass meals every 48 hours. And my fasting day, which was yesterday, I actually went to a little squat contest. It was all just good fun yesterday, and I was fasted, and I was fucking sore from the day before because I did lunges. But I was fasted, and I squatted my body weight for 53 reps. Like it was, I was fasted, like I had strength. So that's the whole thing. People don't understand that if you're fat, you don't even need to worry about eating hardly at all. That's the whole thing. You can basically not eat for fucking until the fat is gone, until you actually lose sleep. And then you'll actually be able to like take in a full caloric amount. Like what I said with me, 2,800 calories I was eating when I was a fat ass at 190, then 1,900 seemed like the right amount to fill me up. And then bang, one day I was starving to death, which just out of the blue, starving to death. And then bang, I started bumping the calories up, and I actually got up to where I was eating 3,200 versus 28. My metabolism sped up. My metabolism was faster. And plus, you're more anabolic at a certain, if you're lean to a point, you're actually more anabolic, because anabolic meaning it's easier for you to build muscle because you're way more insulin sensitive. Way more insulin sensitive. Question?
So Tanner Gibson says, I am now alternating 24-hour fast and 48-hour fast, eating twice as much before the 48 with 1 hour eating windows. Thoughts?
So that's it, like, as long as, how do you feel? So let's get into, just ask him, I'm just wondering if you exercise. So the way I train, so this is my exact routine right now, because I love eating that big meal every second day. So when I'm done this show tonight, I'll basically eat for about 3 hours, and I'll eat about 180 grams of protein via meat tonight, because I'm eating for 2 days. I always go about 90 grams I need in a day. That's from meat protein. The nuts and shit that I eat, I don't even count. That's just extra. But the meat, I'll eat about 90 grams worth. So I'll eat probably about, 700 grams of meat, right? And then I will train. Tomorrow is my hard day, because I'll eat tonight, and tomorrow's like when I'm a superhero. That day I really smash like big compounds, like, squats, deadlifts, basically some big leg movement for sure. And then probably some big upper body movement on the same day. I might even go to the gym twice some days. And then the next day, depending on how I feel, I'll do some lighter volume type stuff at times. Depending how I feel, some days I'll go for a hard swim, and I'll even do some like a hard swim on that second day, the odd time. I only swim a couple times a week. But yeah, so it all depends how you feel. So basically what he was saying, he's eating so you're eating one meal every 48 hours, and then you eat one meal every day. Anyway, there's all sorts of fasting configurations. Like, you can eat one meal a day for 2 days and then have a 48-hour fast. The one benefit, though, from the longer fasting period, and this is why, not just because I like to eat that big-ass meal every 2 days, but the longer you fast, the better result you'll get from autophagy, which is when your body starts to chew up mutated, like, white blood cells. Like, if we're talking cancer cures here, the word cure, someone's going to fucking arrest me. Fucking FDA is probably going to come and assassinate me once they fucking find out I'm giving people all this free help that's going to make them stop selling fucking all their rip-off pharmaceutical bullshit. But anyhow, so what I was getting at there, it's all the fasting routine can be whatever you want, okay? I've had people where they eat one meal every 3 days. It all depends how lean you are. Now, if you're really lean and you're female and you can't eat a pile of food in one sitting, that's when you open up the window. So let's talk extremes. If you're very obese, you basically don't need to eat fuck all. You can eat like one small meal every 2 days. Just always watch the fucking scale. Always watch the scale. If the scale's dropping and you feel strong, that's good. If the scale's dropping and you feel like you're getting weaker, that's not good. That's not going to happen with a fat person anyway, like this. Go ahead.
So what happens if you lose all the weight and can't eat large enough meals? So do you go back to intermittent
Yeah.
fast?
So that's what I was getting at. So, because I have had some girls obviously they just can't eat like enough food, right? So that's when you just widen the window. And another good thing too, like say if you're eating a high-fat diet, you can obviously get a lot more calories in. I was actually talking to a friend last night, and he was eating there's a lot of fructose in dried fruit, but it's high calorie intake. So if you feel like you're losing weight too quick, if you're lean, then all you do is widen the window. Like tonight, I'm gonna eat I couldn't eat all the food I'm gonna eat in an hour tonight. I'm gonna eat fucking 6,000 calories. I can't eat all that food in 1 hour. Not with the volume of vegetables and all that stuff I'm gonna eat. So my eating window tonight will probably be 4 hours. We'll get off of this. It'll be 7 o'clock my time, and I'll probably rip to the grocery store, buy I might even have a couple ribeye steaks tonight. And then, so back to that question, you just widen your eating window. Watch the scale. Widen the eating window. You can even pick out all day one day fat. You can actually deliberately fatten up just so you get a longer fast in. You can actually put on some fat just so you can do a nice long 3-day fast to get those benefits from that long fast, from that autophagy. And also, the longer you fast, 48-hour fast, your GH will spike. It will peak at 48 hours. That's why I love doing the long fast. You want high testosterone, high GH, you fast longer. Try to eat more food. And your body will get more used to eating more. Your body will get used to eating more food as you eat more as well.
Dan LeBlanc asks, Cole, can you touch on how to calculate electrolyte needs for fasting?
So, good question. So I've been reading so much because this is probably the only thing that's so fucking gray area. So I always try to go back to the caveman days because you read a bunch of fucking science and it's like they don't. So I always go back to the caveman days to try to visualize what were they actually getting in. So what I had people doing is anything that's in excess is going to get skimmed off by your kidneys and kicked out as piss anyway. But I've had things even say 2,000 milligrams per liter of water of salt if you're fucking training really hard and sweating hard. I've had, if you read, they say you need 4,700 milligrams of potassium a day. But I think that's high, so I've actually been cutting it back with some of the people I'm coaching because I was pounding so 4,700 milligrams of potassium is right around 2 teaspoons of potassium chloride, which is no salt or salt-free, it's called. So no salt or salt-free. I've only been taking 1 teaspoon lately, and I feel pretty good because I can tell I'll get those little muscle twitches, it'll slightly come. And I did crazy pull-ups today, and almost every time back in the past when I did lots of pull-ups, I'd get twitches right in here, and I'm not twitching out yet. And I did a lot. I did weighted pull-ups tonight for sets of 4, 5 or 6 sets of 4 with some good weight hanging off me. And then I did another 50 pull-ups. I did sets of 5 on a minute, narrow grip for some bicep work. I love doing narrow grip pull-ups for biceps. I can get talking a little bit about how I weight train too. But a good rule of thumb is I would go, if you're doing a long fast, so you're not getting in any minerals or not minerals, but you're not getting in any electrolytes via the food, I would go with two teaspoons of no salt and 1 teaspoon. You can even go 1 teaspoon of no salt, but on the same, you don't need it too high. So even 1 teaspoon of no salt, 1 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt. I always go with the good pink salt. Table salt's fucking trash. The pink salt's got lots of minerals in it itself. And mix that in maybe 3 liters of water. And if you drink the whole 3 liters in the day, fine, but you probably won't. I think I'm drinking honestly 2 liters a day myself. So what you'll do is you mix it up in 3 liters and then just drink the water, and then you run out of that 3 liters, drink it again, even if it takes you a day and a half to drink the water. And you'll feel it. If you feel weak, you're probably low on potassium, but salt and potassium go hand in hand, because what happens if you're sweating your bag off and urinating, this is where water's key. I want to hit water again. Mineral water, you'll fucking start pissing, you'll start drinking half the water volume. Half the water volume when you drink a decent quality water. That's huge. When you do a long fast, because I ran into problems with this because I'm always learning too. There's no one to coach me. I'm always learning. My clients, I learn from them even, I've had people in the past that, they got a little bit fucked up because they were drinking city water or town water. There's nothing good in it. And your body wants to eject it. So when your body's pissing all night, this used to be me. I'd piss all fucking night. And then you're urinating out all that salt, all that sodium, and when you lose the sodium, the potassium follows, because you got like your cell, and you got a sodium potassium pump keeps this voltage charge across the cell wall. And that's when your brain fires muscles, that's like you need that voltage differential. So if you run low on sodium, sodium's not bad. Like sodium has such a bad rap. You need fucking salt. This is why the problem is all the food people eat with all the processed salt, they don't get any fucking potassium. So the balance is way out of whack. Is the main, salt the fuck out of your food with good clean salt when you're fasting. It's good because for starters, it keeps your blood volume up. Your blood pressure, like I did an experiment with salt because I'm fucking ridiculous. I took 18,000 milligrams of fucking salt, of sodium, not even salt, sodium in one day. And I was fucking bloated up. Like I'm talking bloated up. And you know what was cool though? I took in all this salt, and then I went like 3 days basically drinking 500 milliliters of water a day and still training. It was really cool. And that's what I wanted to do, like a water fast of like 4 days, where I figured out that I could probably not eat or drink water for a good 4 or 5 days and still train when that happened to me. And because a lot of people are actually low, if you start fasting and you're drinking bad water, they're actually low on good sodium. And that's why, like, blood volume's huge. The more blood volume you got, the more fucking nutrition will get circulated through your body. You want that blood volume. You want that, and that's what salt does. It controls blood volume. Sodium controls blood volume, right? And then potassium controls like heart rhythm. So I want to hit a point there. So if you don't take the fucking potassium and the salt, you can have heart palpitations fasting long periods of time. And so it depends how fat you are. Because your fat has salt in it. That's why when you eat a fucking steak, the fat has taste. If there wasn't nothing there, it wouldn't taste. There's potassium in your body fat. There's fucking salt. There's amino acids, protein. There's water. Like your body fat's a full fuel. As long as you're not crazy active, like unnaturally active, like say if you were a hunter-gatherer, you could go days without fucking eating. Days. Like this is the thing, people. If you're fat, you can run such a small caloric intake. You can get away with murder and not lose muscle with this diet. This way of eating. I don't even like saying diet as well because it is like a way of life, because it's like proactive eating and long fast. You never want to be eating inside of 24 hours if possible, unless you're one of those people we were talking about that can't eat enough food. Okay, so
there's this one guy. For a guy like me, I'm really lean, but not quite at the 6-pack point. How long should I fast for in between a meal?
So now you can get aggressive, because it depends how aggressive you want to get. It's going to be hard though, because you want to get fat adapted first. So fasting will get you fat adapted. Okay, and then it's easy to cut the body fat, but you'll go through those withdrawals and shit like that. But if you want to get aggressive, you just watch the scale, and an aggressive cut, you could even just, like, it could be a pound a day, or even a half a pound a day. Like I fasted, like the last water fast I did nothing. I sat there and lost 5 pounds of pure fat. And that's ultra aggressive. You don't have to do that, but all you would do is you would just cut back the food and just watch the scale, cut the food back, watch your strength in the gym. And I'll hit on now the gym strength is extremely important, because if you don't log your fucking workouts, you don't know where you're at. This is why all these women that go into Weight Watchers clinics, they can tell them whatever the fuck they want, because they don't know they're losing strength, because they don't do anything. Most of them are just like, old ladies and shit that just they're not really active. But as soon as this is why exercise is key to pointing out flaws with a diet. If you got a proper progression in your weight training program, if you're losing fucking strength, you're obviously on a fucking bad eating routine. It's that simple. Log your fucking body weight, log your fucking strength, log your food, log your fucking, when you take a shit, log everything. Log when you've ate last, log the weight of your food. The more you log, then you're more educated. You don't freak out when the scale jumps up 2 pounds because you're holding water, which is another huge one. I can actually get into that for a minute, because people freak the fuck out because the scale moves up and down the odd time. For starters, if you're going to worry about the scale, make sure you're using it properly. When you get on the scale, get on it the same way each time. 1 foot, 2 feet, make sure your scale's not fucking wore out either. And like, get a weight 5 times until it looks like it's consistent. Log that weight. And then also if you're logging your food the night before, because see what I do with people I coach, I don't need to fucking have them counting calories because they're all overweight, and I know in my head that we're at a massive caloric deficit anyway with what we eat. So what I do is I make sure whenever they do eat, get lots of veggies, 300-400 grams of veggies, get some fats, and get a certain amount of fucking meat. It's simple. And then just weigh it. It's like 500 grams of total food on the plate. Weigh the food. And then the next time you eat, weigh the food. So then the next morning, that you ate 500 grams of food, which is about a pound. You know that you drank a half a liter of water, which is about a pound. Then obviously that's 2 pounds. The next morning, if you're up more than 2 pounds, it's basically fucking impossible. If you're eating at a huge caloric deficit, you didn't gain any fat. You can't gain fucking fat when you're eating 400 calories a day. And like, people don't like to hear about calories, but this is the thing. You don't need to eat as much food. I see people like, oh, I gotta get my calories in. They make it sound like they went on a fucking looked up a calorie calculator on the internet and told me I need to eat 1,300. And that's a problem with MyFitnessPal. Because guess what? It doesn't even let you go below 1,200 fucking calories when you use MyFitnessPal. Everybody's eating at a caloric surplus. You're getting fat. It's a fucking joke. You can't go below 1,200. You know how many women I coach that are actually 1,200 would make them fat? It's so true. So like, that's why MyFitnessPal is a fucking joke. Because they got to cover their ass. Because it's a liability thing. Because somebody told them that 1,200 calories is low. It's a fucking joke. Most people, if they're eating 800-900, a lot of women, they'd be maintaining at that. They would be getting fat at 1,200. Fucking fat. Like, it's a fucking scam. Especially if they're eating 6 meals a day, spiking insulin, they'll definitely get fat. They might be, like, I've coached old ladies, man. There's no fucking way they need 1,200 goddamn calories. That's the lowest MyFitnessPal will go. Like, fucking, it's just a massive crock of shit. So, okay.
So wait, Samantha Lynn asks, the first time I did the fast 48 hours, I slept most of the time. Is it normal to be so tired?
Yeah, you could have all sorts of withdrawals. That's not even a bad thing. At least you're tired, you didn't have headaches, right? One side effect for sure, that first 48-hour fast. So assuming you ate, let's always use a day. So let's say you ate your last meal Sunday night, like this is Sunday night. Let's say you ate your last meal Sunday night. Monday is going to be the shittiest day. But then Monday night, that's right about when you'll make that shift. And Monday night, a lot of people will wake up Tuesday morning and they'll feel like $1,000,000 because their body got into ketosis. That's exactly what happened to me when I did my first long fast ever. And they're just alert. Their stomach is empty, obviously, and they're still hungry, but not that bad hunger pain that's fucking them up. It's like something they can just deal with, the fat just starts melting, and it's shown by the keto sticks. See, that's another thing. Log the keto sticks every fucking day. It's simple. You log this shit, and you know where you're at. If you're not logging shit, you're just reckless. No wonder you're fat in the first place. You're just fucking reckless. There's no structure. We need fucking structure and restriction in our lives. Because you know what? And this is actually, I'm going to get into this now. Restriction and structure.
So this one girl asks, what you think of Light Show, in brackets, electrolyte concentrate for rapid rehydration?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, that's not my scope. So what I would say, if it's a good electrolyte substance, because I know there's a few out there, if it's a good mineral supplement, and as long as there's no fucking sweeteners, no calories, no sweeteners, do your research on it. As long as there's not a bunch of fucking added shit, it could be good. But I don't use none of that crap. I'm fucking old school. I drink fucking water, and I eat vegetables, and I add fucking salt, and that's it. And after a while, I'll use apple cider vinegar, and there's a few other things I take. I take cayenne pepper. I'll drink like chamomile tea, which lowers your cortisol, which is a good thing for keeping you from burning muscle.
What about apple cider vinegar?
They asked that?
Yeah.
So apple cider vinegar is fucking gold. for a lot of reasons. It's super awesome for your stomach because, see, most people, that's where a lot of bad health starts, is your stomach's all fucked up. So you can't break food down. So a lot of people, you know those calories you put in your mouth? You're not even uptaking them anyway. You just shit them out, okay? You're just shitting those out. So, but the vinegar, what it does, it's cool, is it actually will control blood sugar. It'll keep your blood sugar down at night, which is a good thing because basically the lower you can keep your blood sugar, the better, and the better fat burning mode you'll be in. And then amongst others, there's so many. If you look at apple cider vinegar, there's so many fucking benefits. I can't remember them all. Another one, it mobilizes calcium, and I'll hit a point on calcium actually. So one guy I do listen to, his name's Jason Fung. This guy's, he's a smart guy. If he had my crazy ass personality, he'd probably be fucking famous over the fucking world because he's the guy. I actually want to meet him someday because I'm gonna be the person that's the motivator, telling people they don't need to fucking eat. And he's going to be the science behind it because this guy's very smart and he's very, very huge fasting advocate. So he did a video about calcium and I caught this video and it was good. He had all the data and basically the countries with the least hip fractures and the least, what else was he talking? They're talking about hip fractures and fuck. I forget they were talking about one other thing. The lowest calcium intake. The more calcium that was being intaken by whatever country, they had way more fucking bone issues. Way more. So, and they were talking like less than 500 milligrams. Like, so what I'm saying is you don't need any fucking extra calcium and that you're not already getting from food you're eating. And that was another thing when we're talking about electrolytes. Calcium is completely fucking overrated. It's another fucking scam to try to sell fucking dairy products. Now, grass-fed butter is a dairy product, but it's like, it's high in a lot of other shit, and it's not like you're just guzzling jugs of fucking milk every day. Like, milk is a fucking joke. Like, that's, like, osteoporosis, that's what I was looking for. So, basically, the hip fractures, osteoporosis was so high in countries that were pounding fucking dairy, basically milk. It was fucking milk, okay? What was that question again that they were asking?
Some apple cider?
Yeah, so the vinegar will mobilize calcium. So your body already has a lot of calcium in it, but it's not being used. And that's why people get calcium buildups in their fucking joints. It's not like they don't have calcium in their body. The body's just not using the fucking calcium.
Should you take it while fasting or will it break the fast?
No, it won't break shit. So this is the thing. Now, when you can always tell though, do a little bit of experimentation, but the vinegar will never break the fast. It's never done it with me. It never does it with anybody I help. It actually got to the point where I did a lot of research on glucose and sugars and fructose. So fructose is bad. Fructose can't be stored as liver or as muscle glycogen. Okay? Your liver is the one that stores the fructose. So say if you drank a bunch of pop right now, and it was like there's 100 grams of sugar in this pop, fructose, corn syrup and shit, fills up your liver, then your liver starts overflowing and that sugar gets stored as fucking fat. That's how people get fat. Drinking fucking juice and pop and all this fucking fructose. Now, glucose on the other hand, if it's a complex carbohydrate, if you do it just right, I actually ate a half a loaf of Ezekiel bread one night because I was experimenting with carb loading and trying to stay in ketosis. So ketosis, this is interesting. You know how you can't eat like over like 20 grams or 50 grams of carbs, it'll kick you out of ketosis. Most people stick to 20 with the way they eat all day long. I ate a half a loaf of bread and I ate a bunch of fatty food first to get it in my stomach. Then I ate a half a loaf of Ezekiel bread though. There's no sugar in that bread. It actually has to be frozen, not your white fucking, every other bread on the shelf is shit. I ate a half a loaf and I doused this bread in bacon grease and butter and I still pissed ketones the next morning. Still pissed fucking good ketones because your body's crazy. If you do it just right and it's a slow enough process, you won't overwhelm your glycogen synthesis system. So if you don't overwhelm it, that glucose it will turn into glycogen and it'll go right in the muscles and you'll basically, you can keep your liver low on glycogen. which your liver is what decides if you're in ketosis and in a truly fasted state. Your liver will make the decision. So if you have glucose, if you have glycogen still stored in your liver, you won't be completely fasted. That's not saying that you can't eat one meal a day and have a little bit of glycogen in your liver. But what I'm saying is that you won't be maxed out on ketones to the point where they're in such excess that you're actually pissing them out because they're excess in the bloodstream. That's how that works. So you'll be in keto. You can be in ketosis and not piss ketones, is what I'm saying. Just that you won't be in such excess. Like, especially people that are overweight, it's really cool because this is interesting. I can't even find, I'll have to fucking try to find some research on this. But your body, there's no hormone that stops your body fat from breaking down. It's not like all these other hormones that control shit. So when your body gets like in a deep fasted state and you're not eating, it'll just keep producing ketones, like excess and excess and excess. So in theory, even if you're not, because a ketone is like energy, just like glucose. So in theory, if your body keeps breaking this fat down, even if you're laying on your ass, you can actually burn more calories than being exerted because you'll just be pissing out that fucking energy, which is really interesting. And I think that's why I get some people that are basically sedentary that lose crazy amounts of weight as long as they keep, not just because they're not eating a lot of food, but because their body's just fucking, like, I can get my ketone strips up, not even now, it's not like some of the obese people I work with, holy fuck, they'll have their ketone strips like up at 16 millimoles per liter for like days on end. It's just insane. So third point I'm going to get into here. So for anybody, again, watching my social media, my Facebook page, like my Facebook page, invite as many of your friends as you can. Don't fucking worry about that judgment. I'm going to get into this. I got a YouTube channel, subscribe to that, and also I have Instagram. And my trusty, fearless, I have a new, let's introduce you real quick here. So this is Maz.
Hey everyone.
He's my new assistant. And the onesie, basically we had him out on his first assignment today, and he was going and he's spreading the word about my diet, and he was out in West Edmonton Mall, and he actually got booted out of the mall. Like, we don't fuck around with the way we market around here. We don't spend a dime on marketing, and some of these big box gyms are spending thousands and thousands of dollars on signage, and I just fucking get this guy out to go fucking hustle like I used to hustle. He's my protege. So he was out today, and he just basically runs up to people, and he's like, snake diet, snake diet, snake diet. And he just fucking, they can't forget it. It's just fucking, it's too catchy. You know, too catchy. Yeah, so are you nervous?
Little bit.
Okay, so social circle fucking backlash. I have a lot of people that I deal with that are tough. And you know what? This works so fucking good that it's so cool. It's like turning into this movement. It's like I have more faith in humanity now because people see that this works. And they'll do whatever it takes if they know something truly works. But if they're like kind of gray area, if it's going to work or not, like fucking Weight Watchers, they won't invest. So, that being said, people will do very well until their little fucking social circle group starts to run their goddamn mouth. And it's funny because even on Facebook now, people don't really attack me on my page anymore because I got too many followers and people will just fucking tear them a new ass. But what I run into is people that I coach, you know, they'll post some results on the internet or blah, blah, blah. Or they'll be scared to even say they're fucking fasting because right away it's like, that's starvation. That slows your metabolism, coming from the fucking fat guy in the corner saying this. So this is probably my biggest thing, is why I get people to call me every day for like the way I'm coaching people now. I coach people for a week, and then now I'm just trying to focus on this because I'm fucking getting people from Texas, fucking Pennsylvania, fucking North Carolina. Like, this is a movement. It's crazy because people see it's free. It works. There's no scam. So we were supposed to fucking eat. That's it. So people are seeing this, but this social circle, you're going to have your fucking buddies that want to go drinking. You're going to have your buddies that want to go eat fucking garbage. You gotta fucking grow some goddamn balls. You gotta be able to tell people to fuck off. Because you know what? you're either going to drop down to their level or you're going to bring them up. And that's it. Either you're going to be weak and come down to that level, or you're going to fucking pull them up. And if they don't want to come up, guess what happens? You cut them loose. Snoop Dogg actually did a fucking video on this. I seen it on Facebook one time where, you know, he was hustling and he's hustling. And he even had family members that, you know, he's talking about, yeah, you communicate with them people that are negative and you're just skipping a beat. And he had to cut him right out, like family fucking chop out of his life because he had this passion, right? Cut him the fuck out. Problem is, most people don't have enough focus. They don't have enough courage, I guess, to meet strangers and make new friends. See, it's all about your passion. And if you're really passionate about something, if you chase that passion, all the people that come into your life when you're actually chasing your passion are going to be people that you're going to have common interests with. It's that simple. So, like, if you're looking for a girlfriend or a boyfriend, going to the bar is not the way to meet them. Follow your passion. If you're a fucking fitness rat, go to the gym. That's where you'll meet the people that you have the most in common with, and then it'll start out as a much stronger relationship. See, this goes back to relationships. Like, a lot of your friends are just drinking buddies. You gotta cut them loose. Simple as that. Sucks. Like, I don't talk to a lot of people now that I used to talk to, and I don't hate the people, right? But like, fuck. It's like I don't have time. I'm helping people. Like, I'm trying to help the greater good here. I don't have fucking time for that bullshit. And so people, if you're doing this diet, I recommend tell people you're doing it. Tell them. Don't hide. Don't fucking hide. There's one girl I was helping. She was actually Asian. And she had a dinner one night. And we weren't going to eat at this dinner. And it was this big fucking elaborate dinner. And I made her go and not eat in front of everybody. Just face that goddamn judgment. Because facing that judgment, then you won't fall off. Because as soon as your fucking social circle starts running their mouth, it's like I'm here, you're here, social circle's here. So like I'm trying to pull you up here and they're pulling you down. So if I don't communicate with somebody enough, or their social circle's weak, or yeah, it'll pull them down. So that's why it's good to join groups too. I actually strongly recommend to join intermittent fasting groups. I might even start another snake diet group again, but I got way too much shit going on social media, and it'd be just people that are following my snake diet. But I am on a intermittent fasting group right now. It's called Women's Intermittent Fasting, and I know the guy that runs the group, and a lot of the ladies on there I'm helping now. So anybody that wants to learn, I do post on there a little bit, and other women I help post. So it's called Intermittent Fasting for Women. You can check that one out as well. And obviously, I do make lots of YouTube videos and try to pump them out more and more and more. But simply to start the diet, if you're going to try to do this yourself, heavy on mineral water, throw a teaspoon. I'm not a nutritionist, by the way, so if you fucking die doing this, it's not my fault. I'm not fucking a certified fucking nutritionist. I told you that before because they don't coach what I coach, okay? It doesn't exist. People like me don't exist. The system hates guys like me, in fact, because I fucking make them lose money. But just some sort of good spring water. You want to at least go a teaspoon of salt if you can to start. If you get some diarrhea, you can cut this. If you feel good, you can cut that salt back. But you definitely want at least a teaspoon of potassium, so it's going to be no salt, potassium chloride. And then you fast 48 hours. Don't do fuck all. Relax. Don't be a hero. And then refeed at the end of the 48 hours and then go from there. And if it feels good, if it's easy, I have some people it's so easy, I have them basically eating once every 2 days. Things like this, which works really well. Is there a question there? Okay.
Oh, wait. When they have to... No, nothing.
Okay.
That's not a question.
Yeah, so then that's how you start. And then always just log your weight. It's very simple. What I give when I coach people is this. I'm giving it right now. Motivation. That's it. I'm just motivating you to do something that's free. Losing weight is a joke. It's easy as fuck. The hardest part is me just getting people used to the lifestyle. Like, the weight will just come off. It's getting used to eating one meal every 24, 48, 72 hours. It's getting used to dealing with the backlash from your fucking friends and family because they're brainwashed too. You gotta understand they're brainwashed into this fucking system. The system's fucked. They want your money. They don't care about your health. I think my goal is I want to end up in Texas. Houston, Texas is the fattest city in the world. There's so many obese people in fucking Texas. Why? First world, tons of fucking money. People can just get food whenever they want. You don't got to work for food anymore. Like when I did that video on eating disorders, like fucking your little eating disorder, you know, you got easy access to food. When I fucking voice crack like I'm going through puberty. You need a fucking drink of water. Talking way too much. But yeah, there's food everywhere. You know, you go into the rec center. It's supposed to be a healthy place. It's a fucking rec center. You know what? There's a big Subway sign right in the fucking front door. You know, there's fucking like Dairy Queen. They have a Dairy Queen in that rec center now. Like, are you fucking joking me? So then people go bust their balls in some sort of class and then they go fucking pound back a fucking Blizzard at the end. Like, what a fucking joke. You know, like, people just need to wake the fuck up. You go in there and you see all these people just eating. Eat. You have cancer. Have this Ensure. Get that fucking sugar in ya. You got fucking cancer. This is your big educated fucking doctor doing this. Get that sugar in ya. Fucking don't just fast and let your body fucking heal itself. Fucking get that sugar down. Ram them fucking smoothies down your fucking throat. Fuck, I get mad when I heard about this. Like a girl I knew, her dad's got like irritable bowel syndrome or ulcerative colitis. First thing they're doing, pound that fucking food in him. And he's just shitting it out. Pound that fucking food in him. You know, they like fucking, the first thing an animal does when it's sick is it sits there and rests and fasts and fucking heals. And I'm going to hit a point. Are you any of you animal lovers? Well, guess what? Your fucking animals shouldn't be getting diabetes because you fucking feed them too goddamn much. We had a cat when I was a kid, and we gave the cat food quickly with a bird feeder, pulled the food back, fed it like once a day, and the fucking cat lived to like 20 years old. Like, fuck, animals in the wild don't get cancer. Animals in captivity get cancer because they're fucking eating shit and they don't fast. You, my friend, are a fucking captive animal. You're in captivity. That's the whole thing. You're domesticated. Human beings in first world countries are fucking domesticated, just like domesticated animals. We are what we eat. We're eating fucking domesticated animal food, and like I have no choice. I can't go get fucking food. Like it costs me a fortune to get fucking organic food all the time. I don't make that kind of money and help people for free. But you're a domesticated animal. Okay, you gotta understand that's why you get cancer. This fucking shit didn't exist fucking millions of years ago. And then the doctors make it sound like it's like there's always some itis or some bullshit. They put a fucking stupid spin on it. Type 2 diabetes can be reversed fucking 100% of the time if your pancreas isn't fucked up with fasting. Like, it's not rocket science how it works. You know, they make you think that what you got is like something special. It's like something a little special little disease that has its little name that you just gotta deal with and take meds. What you have is fucking bullshit. It can be fixed. Like so much of this shit can be fixed. Like, and then they even have like fucking, it's like non-compliance-itis. And that's when you refuse to take meds. Like, like you don't comply to their bullshit. Like, you know, I had a lady that I was helping, and she was on fucking blood pressure meds. And like, I got her off the fucking blood pressure meds in like 4 days. You know why? I didn't just take her off the meds. I'm like, I'm not a doctor. But guess what happened? She was at work and she started getting dizzy. And then she checks her blood pressure all the time and it actually was low. It was fucking low. After it was high, like 6 years she was on these fucking meds. And her blood pressure was low. So then she called me that night and I'm like, I'm not a doctor, but it's a pretty simple answer. Quit taking the fucking medication. Bang, she didn't take it. Her blood pressure's been bang on like 117 over fucking 78 for 3 weeks straight. You know, like this is the kind of shit. Most people on blood pressure meds and diabetes meds, you're on them meds by choice. You just need to get woken up. It's not your fault. You're fucking brainwashed. I used to be brainwashed too. I used to eat 6 times a day. I used to think that, you know, I used to go into the doctor's office and actually have respect for their opinion. What a fucking joke. Most, like, there is not many fucking doctors out there that know fuck all. Some of the best people you're going to find that know shit are people that self-experiment to the extreme, probably like Tim Ferriss, for fuck's sake. He's going to be a better guy to listen to than most doctors. Or doctors that are preaching something non-mainstream. They're usually smart because it takes balls to be non-mainstream. So that very aspect, as soon as you're non-mainstream, that means that obviously you're pretty fucking passionate about something in order to go against the grain, which also means that something must have worked for you. That's why I fucking preach this shit, because I've been doing it for a long time now. It fucking works. Why would I wouldn't be like this? And that's the whole thing. That's why these mainstream fucking crooks, there is no passion, because they don't even believe in what they do. They have no passion at all. They just sell you fucking drugs. And then you watch your loved one die of something that was blatantly preventable. And then you even have loved ones in your family that are sick right now, and you can't do a fucking thing because they won't buy into what you're saying. But they will if enough people start spooling up. But
so one last question. Alyssa asks, do you think this fasting helps female hormonal issues?
It'll fucking balance your hormones, whoever you are. Your hormones are fucked up right now. Okay, as soon as you're overweight, your hormones are fucked up. That's how you got overweight. Your cortisol is high, you drink too much coffee, you have too much fucking stress in your life because you're worrying about money. Money's huge because people think they need money to be happy, so that's a big problem. This fasting is so much due to the mentality of it, where when you start fasting, you start not worrying about the bullshit. That's why I do cold baths as well. That's why I have cold showers. It's like you bring yourself to this uncomfortable place in life, and all of a sudden you don't give a fuck if you're sleeping on a blow-up bed or you're driving a rusted-out fucking 2003 Ford Escape. It doesn't matter, because you got passion and you're tough, and you realize that you can live this very simplistic life and be truly happy with nothing. As long as you could live out in the bush and be happy. In fact, probably the only fucking thing I got in my life now that I'd like to kick would be this cell phone that I'm talking on right now. Problem is, though, it's a wicked tool to get the fucking word out there. But once this shit goes fucking viral as fuck, eventually I won't be on that phone. Somebody else can run that goddamn phone. That'll be one thing that's out of my head. That's probably one thing that gives me that little bit of fucking stress. It's just, phone calls and shit like that. So we're going to wrap this up. That's an hour's worth of fucking me running my mouth, and I'm hungry as fuck tonight. So, another question.
Last question. Will this work with Crohn's disease?
Good question. So a lot of times the way those autoimmune diseases happen in the first place, because there was some sort of massive tragedy in your life or something. Like if your mom or dad died or something like this, you get the stress causes it. It's like it's cortisol. It's all this shit will cause the problem. So the fasting will fix the hormones. And then if you have like also other things to take, like if you have ulcerative colitis or like fucking ulcers or any sort of shit like that, like cayenne pepper. Like if I had Crohn's, say if I went through a massive stress, because you don't just get Crohn's usually, right? You get it when you went through a stress, and then you don't beat it, and what happens, that's how it works. So if I personally had Crohn's disease, now this is my opinion, I would be fasting like crazy, the same lifestyle I'm living now, and I'd be I'd be drinking lots of cayenne pepper water. Cayenne pepper is like amazing. I burnt my stomach. I'll tell a story about this next time. Stay tuned next week as well. Next week, I'm gonna be doing this every single Sunday night at 6 p.m. We'll keep building it up. I'm gonna make an invite. It's always gonna be on my personal page, because if I do it on the Snake Diet page, it doesn't notify people. That's the problem. So I'm gonna be doing it on my page, and invite me as a friend, PM me, follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And like I said, if I get people liking my Facebook page, it's just more volume, and then I can create a situation where more people can learn. You're helping others, because this works. Like, it fucking works. And probably the only people I've had any failure with is back when I was first learning a process to grind it into people, because it's fucking hard. There's no doubt. At the start, it's hard. But now I got that down pat. So now it's just simple. It's just spreading the word and telling people how to do it. So everyone have a great night, and stay tuned for next Sunday night, and get that fat in you.